Let's talk about Metallica. So, I went to see Metallica in St. Paul at the US Bank Arena. And oh my God, is that what it's called? US Bank Stadium. I am a lifelong Metallica fan. Been a Metallica fan since I was 13, maybe 12, probably 13. First song I ever heard was Master of Puppets on a cassette tape in a Walkman while we were on the bus riding to school it was either 7th or 8th grade. And like that same month, Metallica came on the Master of Puppets tour and they were opening for Ozzy. And I didn't go, and I will regret that for the rest of my life. Because that was my only chance to see Cliff. And I missed it. So I never saw Cliff. Anyway, sorry, Cliff. So this is my first concert review. I'm a big fan of The Art of Guitar, Mike Art of Guitar YouTube channel. Maybe you've seen it. He does a lot of like rock and metal stuff. Super cool guy. He's in that area, and he went to the show and did a review also, which I thought was a really cool review. Anyway, what's up, Mike? So Metallica, 2 nights, Friday night and Sunday night, no repeat set list. I flew up to St. Paul, met up with my 3 brothers up there. One of my brothers, Mike, lives in St. Paul, so we stayed there, which was super convenient. Thanks, Mike. And we're all Metallica fans. And so here's us wearing the shirts. They are sort of, we're not wearing the right shirt based on our age, but we got Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice, which I sort of planned out. This is my newest Metallica shirt from the show. We'll talk about that in a second. So night 1, they opened with Creeping Death, and everyone was obviously like a buzz about what song are they going to open with? What's the second song? Actually, I didn't get footage of Creeping Death, but here's a picture of Creeping Death, and then here's a picture of Harvester of Sorrow, which was the second song. I wasn't taking a ton of pictures or video the first night. I don't know. I think I was trying to really soak it in. And man, I got to tell you, they came out and they were just guns a-blazing. It was just super badass. Mammoth WVH was the first opener. We missed them. I'm super bummed about that. Sorry guys. I love that band. I think they're fantastic. If you haven't checked them out, go check out their album, the second album. I haven't heard the first one as much, but their second album is fantastic. Check it out. It's Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolf. So good. And then we got in there as we were coming in. I could hear Pantera. So we saw them do Walk. They did Cowboys from Hell, which was so good. So we saw like 3 or 4 Pantera songs. So that was pretty cool. I wish we would have seen the whole thing. So the first night we had seats. We were in a section, I can't remember the section, but we were in like the 100-ish section. So, and we were about, I think, 23 rows up from the floor. So they were good seats. The stage is in the middle of the stadium, and it's like a circular stage with the snake pit in the middle. And they had these massive towers, as you can see. Check these out, with just nonstop video. It was either video of the band or like live video of the band, or images, matching the lights and just setting this incredible mood for the whole thing. So if you were up in the seats, it didn't feel like you were missing anything. I mean, you weren't super close to the band, but it felt awesome. And the set list was ridiculous. Like they're playing all these amazing songs, and then and then all of a sudden like Sad But True, and I'm just like, oh yes, this is one of my favorites. I was like, I hope they play that. Then they go into Blackened. And I just lost my shit. I was like, oh, it's Blackened. Blackened was amazing. Then Fade to Black. And it's funny, I love Fade to Black, of course, but I've heard it a lot. I'm a guitar teacher. I've taught it a lot. I've heard it a lot. I've played it a lot. And I'm just sort of like, Fade to Black, whatever. But I gotta say, like, with the images on the screens and the colors and it was unbelievably awesome live. It was so good live. Kirk was playing his Greenie guitar, the Les Paul. I think it's a 59, the 59 Les Paul that he got from Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac, which is like crazy expensive. He played that guitar in a bunch of songs. And then, let's see, I think they ended with Seek and Destroy. And then the very last song was Master of Puppets, was just like, I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? Master! Obey your master! New life burns faster! Obey your master! Yeah, it was Blackened, then Fuel, then Seek and Destroy, and then Master of Puppets. Can you imagine those like all in a row? It's just like, it was just ass kicking. So unbelievable. Like mad props to Metallica for designing their stage setup this way, because they really are just dudes, like men of the people. You could tell they wanted everyone in every seat to feel like they're immersed in this show, and that's what it felt like to me. It was unbelievable. So good. During our day off, my brother Mike decided we need to have floor seats for the second night. So we got floor seats, which ended up being like such a huge win. So the floor seats, general admission floor. And if you look in this picture right here, you can see how they didn't oversell the floor. So you weren't like getting killed the whole time. There was room to move in and out of like your spot. There was a bathroom. There was like, drinks, and there was a merch booth at the other end of where we were. My only criticism of the whole thing really was not the band at all. It's the venue. The band did really well trying to have access to everything, like especially merchandise. So during the day, there was a big merch tent or merch truck outside, and I think it opened at like 2 or something. I can't remember, 2 or 3. So there was ways to get merch. So the only problem with merch at the gig is when you're on the main concourse. So for night 1, there were only a few merch booths, and the 2 main ones would have a line like 100 people deep going in each direction. It was insane. So I didn't even wait for that. Second night, we were on the floor. I found a merch booth. There's like nobody in line. So I got this one Metallica shirt. Pretty cool. Kind of reminded me of like the Damage Incorporated shirt a little bit from the old days. So night 2, we're on the floor. We're super close. The bass is pumping. They opened with Whiplash, which was ridiculous, of course. Met some people from Boston, one of my old hoods. Met a bunch of cool people. Like, everyone was being super cool. There was a pit. We were right next to the pit. We didn't get our asses kicked. I didn't go in the pit because I used to do that when I was young, but I'm not into it anymore. I just don't want to do it. But the energy was like, it was insane. It was super awesome. The sound on the floor was definitely better. Because it was just like the bass was there with the subs, and it was amazing. So their set list on the second day set list, I feel like if you missed the first night, you would probably be bummed, which is why they sold the tickets as a pair to start off with. So if you came second night, like, you're not going to hear Master of Puppets, you're not going to hear Seek and Destroy, you're not going to hear Creeping Death, you're not going to hear Sad But True, you're not going to hear Fade to Black. So I really think the 2-night thing was the only way to go. But either way, obviously, there's going to be stuff on both nights that people love and whatever. So second night, it starts with Whiplash, Whom the Bell Tolls, and then into Ride the Lightning, which is one of my favorite songs. I think that's the first song I ever learned on the bass guitar when I was 12. But I started on bass. I'm pretty sure it was Ride the Lightning, followed by Iron Man. So Ride the Lightning was freaking amazing. Then we had, what do we got? I've got a little list here. Until It Sleeps, Lux Æterna, Screaming Suicide. Here's some video. So my brother Mike is a big like EDM like rave, attendee. He likes to go out to like parties and clubs and stuff like that, and he does this shoulder what's he called, like shoulder rides. So he convinced me to jump up on his shoulders for the day that never comes. Check this out. So that was my first shoulder ride. And the band was like right in front of me. I wish I had my phone out so I could see the band like so well. They were super close for that. That one was pretty amazing. Thanks, bro. And then we got Screaming Suicide, the newer stuff, which was awesome. Call of Ktulu, obviously a favorite because I've heard from other people they're always playing Orion and Call of Ktulu in one of the sets. So we got Call of Ktulu, and it was just like magic. I do that song with one of our teen bands at Bones Jones, and so I took a couple clips and sent it to some of them. I think Orion was night one. They did Orion too. Yeah, Orion was on night one. That was amazing also. At the end of Call of Ktulu was another one of those magic moments where they did the ending like just like the album, and then James does his thing where he says, "We miss you, Cliff. Love you, Cliff," which was like, just being there, because I don't know, we were just feeling it, and it was like super emotional. "We miss you, Cliff." So that part was really cool. Check this out. one of the really cool features of this stage is every like maybe 4 songs or so, the drum kit would like go into the stage, and they'd have this cool interlude like this. And the drum kit would like pop up on a different part of the stage, and the band would sort of hover around Lars, and then, I mean, they would move around, but then they would sort of have that as their home base. And then another 3-4 songs, it would go down, and then it would pop up in another spot, and then another, probably 4 or 5 times. Super cool. So like everyone in the whole place gets sort of a close-up of Lars, and everyone's like focused around that area. It was just so cool. So night 2, sort of like with Fade to Black, the song 1, which I know is like a huge favorite, as you know, it was like one of their biggest hits back when that album came out. That's another song where I've just heard it so many times, and I was just like, it's 1, whatever. But man, when they came out and did it, and when it started with the bullets, like, it was just like, everyone was just like super drawn into it. And I gotta say, I think 1 was like the most like emotional song of night 2. It was really cool, really powerful live, and they just killed it. So then, of course, another song I was desperately hoping they would play is Battery. And we get Battery. We got Battery, which was like just the best. What can I say? Battery is Battery. And then they go into Moth Into a Flame, which is funny. So when they do Moth Into a Flame, Lars counts it off. And James, I guess James like he messed up, right? So they started and then they stopped. And they stop, and James is like, hey, I messed up. He goes, usually that job is reserved for Kirk or something like that. Lars does an 8 count for this song, and I came in after 4 and I messed up, which I thought was super cool that they just stopped, just to show that they're like, you know, human, and they make mistakes, and that it's real. It's like live. It's really happening. So he goes, all right, to the whole audience, everyone count to 8 with Lars. And then they boom, into it. And then for that song, they had the like the pyrotechnics. So, which was super cool. Night 1, they had pyrotechnics for fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire. And it was like boom. So there's like pyro all over the place, which was super cool. And you could feel the heat. You could feel the heat up in the stands, but you could definitely feel the heat from that on the floor. It was nuts. And so after that, they go into 1. Then they close the whole thing with Enter Sandman, which was pretty awesome. And they had the big beach balls come down, and they're bouncing all over the place. And this giant dude right in front of me, we're like, you know, hitting the balls as they're coming around. This guy like waited just for the right moment, and he like death gripped one of them, got it, pulled it down really fast, poked a hole in it somehow, and goes, and then he like got it, and he got one like as a souvenir. So I saw a bunch of people doing that the night 1, but that was nuts. That's my review of the Metallica show. It was off the charts, amazing. One of the best shows, if not the best show, I think, just because of the nostalgia of Metallica. I've been seeing Metallica. I think I've seen them 6 or 7 times throughout the years, and man, this one was just magical. The light show, being on the floor, being with my brothers all at the same time. It was unbelievable. So I know they're almost done with the tour, but I think, or they're wrapping up. So if you have a chance, go see this. It's unbelievable. There's tons of footage on YouTube, obviously, so you can go watch that. But Metallica, nice job, guys. Unbelievable. What an amazing show. Thanks for just being the best. You guys are the best. When 72 Seasons came out, I wanted to do more videos about it, and I ended up doing how to play Shadows Follow. So if you're interested in learning how to play Shadows Follow, check it out right here. All right, guys, thanks for checking out my review. Leave me a comment if you were there, if you saw them in another city, what you thought, what your favorite song was. What'd you think of the show? All right, see you next time. Thanks for watching.